Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the Furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 12, episode 9, and today, after a brilliant season of success, securing a mid-table position in the Premier League and avoiding relegation battles again, we finish with the ultimate reward after an unbelievable FA Cup run, with a final at Wembley against Arsenal. Now, you may say that that's a slightly easier opposition than we've had so far, but certainly not in this series. You can see Arsenal are the runaway champions in the Premier League, a 6-point gap after resting players for the last 2 games, having wrapped up the title earlier on. So they're a brilliant side, the best in England at the moment, and after beating United, Liverpool and City on this run, we've now got the ultimate test in the champions. The good news is that we haven't got any injuries or suspensions today, just the 2 players that we knew were cup tied when we signed them in January, whereas Arsenal have got 3 players out injured and another doubtful as well, so it could be a relatively difficult game for them. But firstly, let's just wrap up the last few games of the season to let you know how we've been getting on. We have got back to form somewhat in the league and started to build our morale a bit. You were obviously with me for that unbelievable dramatic semi-final where we managed to beat Manchester City on penalties, but after that we came back with a 2-2 draw at home to West Brom, a really decent result considering the come down for the lads after one of the most exciting moments of most of their careers. Lucas Beja got a goal, as did Lee Rutherford on the stroke of half time, but West Brom responded in the second half to manage to get a draw out of the game. We lost narrowly 2-1 away at Chelsea in a pretty decent performance after that. It was Daniel Kozzel who got the early goal for us, but we just ran out of steam, and in the second half Chelsea ran through us and managed to get a 2-1 victory in the end. However, in the game after that, we did play our favourite side, Blackburn. We always seem to do brilliantly against them, and we won the game 3-1, Beja and Lappin with first half goals, and it looked like being a nervy finish after Christopher Ayer got a late goal, but Jimmy Lindstrom off the bench with a late goal almost immediately after to reply. That put us back in the ascendancy with a 3-1 lead and comfortably saw out the game. Then a 2-1 defeat followed at Everton, probably our bogey side in this series. We've really struggled against them whenever we've played. All the goals came in the first quarter of an hour, with Hearn and Ayres consolation the last of them. And then a 3-1 win on the final day of the season, this time at home to Southampton. A boring mid-table clash, nothing to play for at all. Kozzel, Lappin and Rutherford with the goals, which means our centre forwards in goal scoring form coming into the FA Cup final. He's been a hero in many rounds so far, and I'd love it if he was again today. And although we've got big expectations for this series to try and win all of the big 6 trophies, I certainly wouldn't have expected it to start this early. It really would be wonderful for us. The FA Cup's my favourite competition as well, so I'd love to see us lift the trophy. It may well be a bit too soon for us, but we've shocked 3 sides, so why can't it be 4? Let's get into the game and look at our lineup to see who could be our heroes today. We can see Arsenal are heavy favourites. They've won 5 on the bounce coming into this one. It's absolutely unbelievable form from them. We haven't won a game against them in this career so far, though we have managed to get 2 draws. So if we can do that again and win on penalties, we take it any way it comes. Let's go and look at the lineup we've got out though. It's not going to surprise you in the slightest. You could probably name the entire 11. It's Stevie Maxwell in goal, Cisse and Lonergan-Irwin the fullbacks with Beja and Leclerc in the middle, Vladimir's in a holding role with Hayes and Lappin in central midfield, and then Aaron Kozzel on the wings with Rutherford up front, and then plenty of options on the bench should we need them. The likes of Allingham, who struggled in the past against his former club, Jimmy Lindstrom, who we saw get a goal off the bench just a few weeks ago, Rowan McDonald if we need to shore things up, and then the youngsters Ray Probert and Palmer are going to be dropped from the bench today, with the experienced Nico Williams and Bobby Duncan coming on. We have got to mention the 2 youngsters, and we will do that after this game, as we'll continue with our usual end of season review, just to reflect on our plans for next season. It is going to be a bit difficult, as we're likely going to be saying goodbye to a few legends, but I'd love to do that in the best way possible with an FA Cup win, just so they leave on the best possible terms as absolute heroes we'll remember forever. So let's get into this game against Arsenal. We don't want to put it off any longer. Can we cause the ultimate shock and win the FA Cup with Torquay United? It's a 4-2-3-1 for Arsenal, a pretty standard formation at this level. Lucas Torreira's the real player in there. They've got a couple of youngsters from real life as well from other clubs, but mostly the team's made up with regens, as you'd expect after 12 years. Their centre forward's absolutely world class, but we've got a team of 11 committed workers rather than special individual talents, but we'll be hoping these lads can pull together today and we can have that one moment of magic. We want the lads to pick up where they left off against Southampton, and if they do as well as they did in that game, they they may have a chance of getting their hands on the trophy. Wayne Curtis hasn't conceded a goal for ages. We're not the best goal scorers either, so that could make things a little bit tricky. Daniel Cozzel's the captain most of the time now, and the beautiful Wembley pitch is about to be graced by two sides, Arsenal the champions of England and Torquay the massive underdogs. It's Sandoval in the middle for Arsenal as they keep possession early on, but with a couple of minutes gone they haven't had a shot and it remains 0-0 in the cup final. Cisse with a throw into Hernan deflects off the defender and we've got a penalty. What's going on here? Lee Rutherford's going to take it. Daniel Cozzel's a good taker, but Rutherford's been consistent, so cross your fingers everyone. What a start this could be after 5 minutes. Lee Rutherford steps up, puts the keeper the wrong way, and am I in dreamland? We lead the FA Cup final. Rutherford's 15th goal of the season, and this has shades of that whole Arsenal FA Cup final from 2014, where Hull took an early lead and then Arsenal came back and won it in extra time. Hopefully the second part won't happen on this occasion, but Arsenal are coming forward almost immediately. Nirvana tries to deliver it, falls for Torreira, and I got excited too soon. Look at that, just a couple of minutes later, and the second shot of the game goes in as well. One shot at either end, and it's 1-1 after 2 shots and 10 minutes. It's an Arsenal corner, Torreira with the in-swinger. Tar gets up but loses out in the air, and now Dimitri Lappin comes forward. He finds Rutherford. Arsenal have had more shots on the register now, but Rutherford's put Lappin in. What's gone on there? He's in one-on-one, and he's tried to head it first time, when he had ages to bring it down and work his way towards the goal. It's a corner for Arsenal again, Torreira with the in-swinger. Nirvana smashes the crossbar. Beja hacks away as far as the winger, and it's delivered but the cross is blocked out for a throw. 20 minutes gone, we've got a warning to close Torreira down, but we're surviving on level terms for now, though we may think about dropping to a balanced mentality in a moment. We keep losing the ball in the middle, I'm not quite sure why. The lad's just dallying in possession, and maybe we need to get it forward a bit quicker. Sandoval to Torreira. Now it's into Conceição in the middle. He finds Evans again and back to Sandoval. Arsenal certainly keeping possession better. They've had 2/3 of it so far, as Navarro puts it just over, and after that concerted pressure we are going to drop to a balanced mentality, just to try and shore things up a little. Nirvana's won it off Cozzel in the opposition area, and now he's charged through half the pitch. He finds Cross the centre forward. Back to Conceição in the middle. He finds Sandoval again. Into Torreira and now Navarro. Are Arsenal going to make their chances pay eventually? Not with shots like that from 35 yards. It's over the bar, and with half an hour gone, we're delighted to still be level. Rutherford with a free kick just over the bar, and it remains 1-1 in this FA Cup final, though we have had a few chances on the break. It's Evans on the left for Arsenal though. Another chance for the side coming forward. They're the champions of England, they should be winning this at a canter, but you never know what can happen with the magic of the FA Cup. Conceição goes for another long shot, and we'd love him to do that all day, as they've all been wildly off target, and that one's wide for a goal kick. We're back with a corner though, it's into the box, cleared off the line and back out to Torreira, and now it's going to be a second corner. The pressure's been absolutely piled on now. Torreira with an outswinging delivery, the second time in a row. Tar's got up but he's lost out in the air. Lonergan Irwin does really well. Out to Torreira and now Cross. Back to Tar on the edge of the box. Brilliant effort just wide of the post, but we still survive with just 10 minutes to the break. It's another corner, we can't see the end of them. Into Evans and it's blocked. The keeper was down so it had to be blocked and it was. Navarro now 25 yards out to Conceição. He gets it to Tar and now Nirvana. Stoking up pressure, so much of it. The deflection's away and Evans gets the shot blocked and it's out for another corner which Torreira will take. How many corners have they had? 8 already. Torreira delivers, Beja takes it off the keeper's hands and now he's cleared wide again. Conceição with the delivery. Lappin hacks it away and surely the highlight will end. With 5 minutes to the break we're hanging on for dear life. It is half time then, it finally calmed down for the last 5 minutes. It's 1-1 after 6 minutes and 1-1 at half time as well. Arsenal have dominated the game since, but Lee Rutherford's penalty gives us a chance, and if we can hold on to the final whistle, then who knows what could happen in extra time and penalties. Let's go and try and win the trophy for the fans, get back into the second half. We'll stick with the balanced mentality for now, and then if we go behind we'll chase the game. Leclerc gets it into Lappin. We're pretty happy if we can draw this 1-1, and if we just keep the score down and do ourselves proud as we have in the first half, I'll be delighted with our performance in our first major cup final. 10 minutes into the second half, Torreira with a corner, down for Cross, is blocked off the line and he's cleared away, and with an hour gone, maybe it is just going to be our day. I say as Arsenal come forward again, Jones into Beja who clears it long, Torreira gets it back to Conceição, his shot saved by Maxwell, brilliant goalkeeping down to his left to make sure he held the ball as well. It's Lonergan Irwin to Hayes in the middle as we finally get a chance to come forward. It's not like we've seen seen an attack since the first 10 minutes, and Rutherford gets it into Hernan. He's got two running off him, one of them's Hayes. Curtis spills it, but it's behind for a corner. What a good chance we've created there. And although Arsenal have dominated the game and have 4 times the number of shots, we have had more clear-cut chances and should have been ahead with that one. Lappin's been forced backwards, he can't lose the ball here, but he does well to find Leclerc, and the highlight ends with the score still level. A quarter of the game to go, it's Arsenal on the right. I couldn't be more proud of these lads so far. They're really putting up an exceptional fight, and although we may well fall short in the end, the Torquay fans have certainly have had a brilliant day and be proud of what their lads have achieved. Cross heads the ball over the bar and we still survive at the moment. We're going to go and make a tactical change. Our fullbacks are going to drop to defensive duties. We've done it so many times before, and we're just going to make sure we don't get caught on the break. We don't want Arsenal to score like that. Daniel Kozzel's really struggling. We're going to bring on Jimmy Lindstrom. Hernane's going to switch over to the left hand side, and with 20 minutes to go we won't make our other changes for now, as we may well need them for extra time. Just under 10 minutes to go, we're still hanging on as it stands. It's still on level terms. Navarro on the edge of the box to change that though, goes for a wild effort comfortably wide, and now with 5 to go we've got to make another change. Talasise's really struggling at right back. I'm going to bring on Nico Williams. He's a far more experienced player and he does relish the big games, so hopefully he'll respond with a brilliant performance in this one and maybe even become the ultimate hero. Navarro coming away for Arsenal though. They've got a man over on the left hand side. Evans is chasing possession. What on earth's gone on there? We've gone to a balanced shape with defensive fullbacks and they've managed to get caught out like that. The Arsenal centre half gets it wide to Evans on the left. He delivers to the other side but their heads away, and we're trying to hang on for dear life. It's really getting quite difficult to defend though. Navarro gets it wide to Nirvana. He tries to deliver. It's blocked to the edge of the box. Into Conceição. He shoots and it's blocked. Nirvana over the bar. Arsenal are making a substitution and we're going to make a more defensive one too. Adam Lewis, another one of our heroes from this save, possibly his last game for the club too. He'll come on the left wing for Hernan and we're going to drop him and Lindstrom back just to go to a defensive 4-1-4-1. Hopefully that'll help us see out the 90 minutes and then keep our shape in extra time without getting caught out or getting cramp in lots of positions. Maxwell with a long kick downfield for us. It's long to the left back Jones and he heads away. It's going to be all Arsenal in the last few minutes. We've just got to try and cling on for dear life. They've put 2 up front with 2 attacking wingers and the back 4 are going to have to be vigilant here and absolute man mountains at the back to stop Arsenal getting a winner. It's Nirvana at right back for Arsenal. We're not even pressing them in their half now as Torreira gets it up to Woodbine, the substitute. He delivers to Navarro into the corner. We've paused the game. We've got to go and make a tactical change. What an awful time to concede. We've got caught out at the back again. I'm so disappointed with the way we've conceded that. We'll push Lindstrom and Lewis forward. We'll go all out attack, but I think it's going to be in vain at the moment as we've only got a minute and a half plus stoppage time. We'll put the fullbacks back to their wing back role. Hopefully they'll be able to respond and we just need to get that one more chance to try and find an equaliser from somewhere. Can Lee Rutherford or Dimitri Lappin be the heroes as they have been so often in this cup run, or is it going to be that too little too late as we try to make our changes after the goal? We're going to demand more from the lads and just try and get every ounce out of them, but unfortunately it's going to be too little too late. We are going to lose the FA Cup final. I've probably said that twice now as Torreira brings it forward to Nirvana. I'm full of disappointment, but what a proud performance. Maxwell makes another brilliant save. 3-1 would be really harsh based on this game, but as we chase it with 4.5 minutes of stoppage time to go, you can see them getting another on the break. Torreira delivers and Nico Williams heads away and it's out to Woodbine on the left hand side. A minute and a half of stoppage time to go. We're back with another highlight. Woodbine, the subs, made a lot of the difference and he's got it forward to cross the centre forward. Into Kadlec in the middle and now Torreira. He goes back to Tar, the centre half, long over the top to Evans who's caught Nico Williams out again. Into Cross and Leclerc clears. Nirvana brings it down on the right. It's still all Arsenal. We don't look like scoring as Adam Lewis hoofs it long to Rutherford. We've got 3 men running up in support. It's into Dimitri Lappin. Hayes is in 1-on-1. He's scored. A minute of stoppage time to go. That is unbelievable. We're back on level terms. These lads never know when to quit. They are absolutely exceptional and we're going to go to extra time in the cup final. What an absolute bunch of heroes, and I can't imagine what it's like in the Torquay end there. He certainly looks a bit ecstatic. What a wonderful goal by Hayes, and we're level with just 30 seconds to go. It's Evans on the left to Torreira. The final whistle will surely go now. We're into extra time as Maxwell claims it. What an unbelievable performance in this cup final. final. I'm so proud of these boys. I'm sure I've got loud, but as Lewis puts it in behind, the final whistle surely has to go. We've played 5.5 minutes now. I'm not sure why we're still playing. The 90 minutes does end, and what a wonderful last minute goal. I need a minute to get my breath back and talk to the lads. We're going to tell them we're pleased, as Stuart Jellin says. We're going to take a moment to pause, and then we'll get back into extra time. Okay, after that crazy final minute of stoppage time, we're back to full composure. The lads are delighted with us telling them they've done well, and why wouldn't they be? Hopefully we've got all the momentum with us now, and we'll be able to make that count in extra time. Arsenal are sticking with their 4-2-4, and maybe we'll be able to catch them out on the break. We just need to get that one opportunity, and if we lead 3-2, we'll go as defensive as we can, and we've seen against teams earlier this season, that can really work against the big sides. 10 minutes into stoppage time, and we haven't seen any action at either end yet, though we are coming forward with a long kick now. It's headed away to Jimmy Lindstrom. He tries to put Rutherford in, but it's a pretty poor pass, and Tar can clear up at the back. He gets it to Torreira, into Kadlec in the middle, and now Arsenal can start to pile forward. They're getting caught a little behind the ball now, mainly because they've taken off all of their midfield. They've just got 2 holding midfielders, and then 4 men standing up front. It's Tierney coming forward from left back though. There's a man we can't really mark. He finds Evans ahead of him. Woodbine in the box scores, and now Arsenal lead again. 10 minutes into stoppage time, it's 3-2, and we're not going to go all out attack yet. We'll leave it until the final 10 minutes. It does look like Arsenal are going to lead at half time of extra time, but the lads have still put up a brilliant fight, and I'm sure the Torquay fans will support them to the end. It's half time in extra time. Let's get into the second period. We don't want to give up yet. We've seen what can happen in the normal 90 minutes, with James Hayes turning up with that wonderful goal at the end, so never give up hope. Here's Jimmy Lindstrom on the right hand side as we pile forward again into Rutherford. He's 1-on-1. Oh my word, they've done it again. Lee Rutherford with his second of the game. My voice is going with this one. What a wonderful performance. These lads just will not give up, and it's now 3-3 with 10 minutes of extra time to go. We've got a 4th substitution, so let's go and make it. Vladimir's absolutely knackered in the holding role, so Rowan McDonald's experience will come on. He gets a taste of an FA Cup final and just gets to give us a bit more bite in midfield. Let's get back into the game. We're absolutely delighted. These lads have given everything, and if we get to penalties, I really hope they can do it. 5 to go, and fingers crossed we can hold on. It's a free kick for Arsenal. 4 minutes left in extra time now. We're counting down the moments. Evans has got it on the left and he's lost it to Lindstrom. Lee Rutherford's ahead of him. Can he do something remarkable? He goes wide to Lewis on the left instead. Adam Lewis tries to cross, but it's blocked, and now Woodbine on the counter for Arsenal. He's certainly been their danger man since coming on. Crosses in 1-on-1. What a tackle, Bedger. He's absolutely knackered as well. Just 60% fitness left, but he put a brilliant tackle in there. It's Evans on the left to Woodbine. Arsenal have scored again. Just 3.5 minutes left. They have deserved it over the course of the game, but we just keep on fighting, and fingers crossed we'll be able to get one more. We're going to demand more from the lads. It worked last time. We've got just a minute of extra time to go, plus probably one more that will get added on. It's crossing behind. He's going to score again. It's 5-3 to Arsenal, and that is really harsh based on the game. A 1-goal defeat would have been fine, but to lose by 2 is so unfair based on this game. What a brilliant day out at Wembley, and what a wonderful occasion for the fans to show that we can compete with the top sides. I said a bit earlier in the year, I can't remember which episode it was in, that we were just 2 or 3 signings away from really competing towards the top 6. We're certainly getting closer to the top half of the Premier League, and I really think we're going to be close in the next year or two. A brilliant encounter in the FA Cup final. Although Arsenal do reign victorious in the end, we put up far more of a fight than I expected, and I'm really pleased with the lads' performance and the fighting spirit that even saw us to extra time to start with. We were underdogs and we gave it everything, so we are going to say good effort to the lads, and they're pretty pleased with it even though they lost. What a wonderful performance it was. Don't forget, some of those players today played with us in non-league and in League 2, so for them to be playing in the Premier League and an FA Cup final is an absolute dream. But obviously for some players we've got to shatter that dream now, and for some fans they're going to lose their hero or legend as we go for our end of season review and look at what we're hoping to achieve over the summer. Firstly, let's just confirm Arsenal lift the FA Cup. A brilliant game of football, wonderful for the neutrals, and Torquay certainly played their part where many would have expected them to lose by 4 or 5. Daniel Kozzel's picked up an injury, but but it's not too bad, so it's not going to affect pre-season or anything. We've got another £1 million in the bank. The lads will get a payout of 125 grand, and you can see from the FA Cup review we're the biggest overachievers in the tournament, and ironically the biggest underachievers are Liverpool, who we put out in a third round. But let's go and finish on the squad screen so we can look at the end of year review. For once we've not got any pre-agreed transfers, either coming in or going out of the club, so let's just get rid of the unavailable players filter so we can see everyone that's been a part of this season. We want to put the lads in appearance order. Craig Lonergan-Irwin's made 46 in all competitions, as has Hernan Air, to be fair to him. Leclerc's not far behind on 44, and then we've got the likes of Maxwell, Cisse, Rutherford, Hayes, Kozzel and Bedge are all above 42, with Dimitri Lapin in the mid-30s. A brilliant season from all the usual suspects. In terms of goals, it's been a one-man show. Rutherford with 16 up front, despite not getting a goal until December, and Dimitri Lapin has added goals from midfield, 7 in total from him, as well as 4 from Hayes, including 1 in that cup final, and 5 from both wings, Lindstrom the sub-right winger, and Kozzel over on the left-hand side. Lucas Bedger's got 5 from centre-half as well. He's been a threat from set pieces, and then in terms of assists, Hernan Air reached double figures. He provided 10 from the right wing, Rutherford with 8 up front, and then Hayes and Lapin with a few from central midfield as well. We've got to look at the young striker Michael Duncan, who we had on loan. Only made 3 appearances in the end, but got 2 assists, so that's something we'll consider in the summer. Just 3 players with a rating above a 7 this year. Lee Milne the sub-keeper, Lucas Bedger the centre-half, who's been absolutely brilliant. We nearly sold him for 30 million in January. I'm very glad Middlesbrough didn't quite meet our valuation in the end. Dimitri Lapin's been a brilliant signing, an absolute revelation in the summer, and then Stevie Maxwell and Lee Rutherford not far behind the 7 rating. They've both had brilliant seasons. In terms of next season, it is going to be evolution rather than revolution again. A bit like last year, we'll look for 2 or 3 weak positions and really try and improve with top class players, just as we did with the likes of Lapin, Hayes and Air, who all contributed in our FA Cup run and led us to safety in the Premier League. So the likely casualties are going to be ones that have been with us a while, the likes of Nico Williams and Adam Lewis, as we move our first team players to the backup positions and then say goodbye to our backups. We'll probably end up losing Bobby Duncan as well, with possibly Michael Duncan joining the club. And then Tom Allingham doesn't really suit the way we play, and he's wanted as well, so he may be one of the unexpected casualties. I'm certainly looking at left back as one of our weaker positions. Craig Lonergan-Irwin's a good backup, but he's certainly not a first choice player. I've mentioned before that if we can, we'll try and replace Cisse with Quirk, but obviously it's going to be hard to get Quirk back to the club. And then holding midfield's the other one. Vladimir's a good backup player and is still improving. Rowan McDonald's done a decent job this year, but he's a championship player performing out of his skin, and it may well be time to say goodbye to him as well. So it could be a tough time for a few legends leaving the club, but if they do end up leaving in this summer window, we'll certainly dedicate them some time in the transfer special at the start of season 13 next time out. The only other thing I'm conscious to do next year is give a couple of our youngsters more game time. Ray Probert's now rated as a 2.5 star player. He's really coming along brilliantly, so he's going to be involved in the first team squad. And Darren Palmer's now rated 2 star as well. He's even learning to finish 2, so he'll be involved as well. 2 youngsters that could really make it at the club, and hopefully we'll be able to bring back our best ever youth academy prospect Richard Quirk, the wonder kid who's now at Southampton. But if you did enjoy this episode and this wonderful season culminating in the FA Cup final, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I really do appreciate your continued support. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with my decisions for the summer. Do you think I should keep any of the legends around, or are they all punching a little above their weight now, and do we have to accept they've all got to move on? Let me know what you thought of that brilliant cup final as well. I really thought we were going to do it at one stage, but after thinking it was down and out after 93 minutes, the lads put up such a wonderful fight. I think it bodes well for the future. I've just noticed Lee Rutherford's wanted. It's by Fulham, one of our Premier League rivals. I can assure you he's not going anywhere, no matter how big an offer we get. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, this one with Torquay United and our Journeyman series, The Head Coach. There's also weekly content from my Snooker 19 career every Friday at 4:30. And then we've got 3 episodes a week from Cricket 19 as we're running through an Ashes Test series at the moment. That started last Saturday and the latest episode was out at midday today, so do check that out if you're a fan of other sports games. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and I really hope you'll join me again on Sunday as we'll be back with our transfer special at the start of season 13 as we really look to push for the top half of the Premier League.